I think just for a start, especially if you allow even almost everyone, like just to drive, if you allow people to drive a car, not a toy. We are allowed to cycle a bicycle, which is correct, but to drive. So if you allow us now or if you allow each and everyone to drive, it also enables even people to raise money, capital, to start up their business, because they can do these deliveries. There's much shortage even in these pizza shops. They want to do deliveries. So now it also affects even the consumption rate. From your customers, from the Irish customers, or from all other entrepreneurs who are raising up, if you have many drivers who can do deliveries, not only food, but delivering even the manufactured goods from Shannon, or the manufactured goods all over the country, it helps to grow the economy. We are now living in the modern society. We are now living in the, in the modern economy, which requires cultural diversity. You should diversify, you should blend it. I am black, you are white. When you diversify this portfolio, right, it will make Ireland a better place.
But also there are certain barriers, like trying to apply for a job, and the employer or wherever you're applying, they don't know that asylum seekers now have the right to work, or there's other challenges where maybe you have to have a license and I can't have that, or you have to have a bank account, to be able to get paid, and I can't open a bank account. So although I have that work permit, there's still so many barriers that are restricting me from actually being able to access the labor market.
There are restrictions on where you can work, for instance. So if you are applying for work in the civil service, I couldn't work in the civil service. I was trained to be a civil servant in my country. I have an honors degree in public administration. I was doing a PhD in public administration. I can't work in the civil service in Ireland. I tried to apply for a job in the university. We're not allowed to work in universities because they are funded by the state. They are owned by the state. We can't work in the universities either. Can't go into banking. So there are very limited restrictions on what you can do as a person who's seeking asylum in Ireland. If you, for instance, you are a nurse in your own country, you'd have to work for one of the agents if you wanted to work. You couldn't work for the state directly. You couldn't be employed as a nurse directly by the state because you're not allowed to work.
As an asylum seeker, you're not entitled to have a driving license. So how can I get a job when if I get a job, my employer says, oh, I'll have to be paying you through your bank account, and I don't have an account? It still comes back to the fact that I'm still an asylum seeker. And it's a taboo in Ireland when you're an asylum seeker, because people don't value you. They think you're just here to rip off the system. So the moment you say you're an asylum seeker, people get protective. Oh, he's a scammer. He wants to come and reform us. And then they put all these block walls, these brick walls that you need to fight your way to scale to get over. I got rejected 4 times in a day to open an account by 4 different banks, all on the same street. And there's an EU regulation that says asylum seekers are eligible to open accounts. But the banks refused. I gave them my work permit, gave them my birth certificate. At every point of every document I gave, there was a reason why that particular document cannot be used. The work permit, they said, it has my face in the front. Anybody could do a work like that. And I was like, this is a legal document from the Justice Department. How comes you cannot use this? I don't have proof of address. This is all part of stripping me of my identity. The center we're living gives us a proof of address, and they tell you it cannot be used. Only proof of address is from government institution. And I'm living in a center being funded to host asylum seekers by the government. Gives me a valid proof of address, and the banks cannot use it. So you're telling me I'm not staying there. I don't have a passport. You can't accept my proof of address. Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just an asylum seeker on the street of Ireland. Nobody wants to deal with, and nobody cares about.